Christian Music Spotlight, Joe Neal here with you. The stories and testimonies behind the songs of your favorite artists here in Christian music. And occasionally we venture outside the realm of Christian music here on the program to talk with different personalities who are making a difference in the world of television, movies, and the book world. And later on in the program we'll have our conversation with Dave Allen Johnson, who is the executive producer of such shows as Doc and Sue Thomas F.B.Eye, and as well as The Coffee Shop. And why that's important is we have one of the actresses of the movie Coffee Shop, and she also stars in the new movie The Perfect Wave, coming out on DVD this week. Please welcome Rachel Hendrix to the show. Rachel, how are you?
Doing really well. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. And you got to star, of course, we'll start with the movie Perfect Wave. You got to star opposite Scott Eastwood as well as Cheryl Ladd in this movie. How much fun was it filming The Perfect Wave, getting to travel in all these exotic locations and filming this particular movie?
Oh, it's a beautiful film. Like, it's gorgeous. I watched the footage and the cinematography, and I'm just like, I forgot how beautiful this was. It was a lot of fun, and it was intense. I think with surfing films, you know, you're catching sunsets, sunrise, you're out in the water, you're trying to just, like, get the most beautiful scene as you possibly can. Thankfully, my character doesn't surf so much. She just has a little bit of surfing in the film. So I didn't have to get up at the crack of dawn every day like the other surfers did. So I was at an advantage there. But it was an amazing, beautiful place to be in Cape Town, to be in Jeffreys Bay, Mussel Bay, Vic Bay. We were all over the place. Just getting the best surf shots as possible, and then we traveled to Indonesia to shoot the last kind of exotic stuff, which you see Annabelle and Ian's character kind of interacting in those places.
September 19th, the movie comes out on DVD. You can catch it then. Now, rumor has it as well, you are a pretty good photographer as well. As a photographer, how much fun was it? Did you catch a lot of different, very cool shots on your cameras while you were at these different places?
Yeah, I was quite the shutterbug. I brought my camera with me with just a 50mm lens and tried to get like as much as I could with just the 50, and that was my goal. They call it the Nifty 50 in photography, and it's just a great lens to, if you could travel with one thing, I mean, it's like tiny, it's sitting right here, I have it on my desk. This is my 50. It's a tiny little thing. Easy to travel with.
Nice.
And I shot so much, and I documented a lot of my experiences, so I blogged it, and then I posted on my photography website, and, you know, I couldn't not shoot. It was just beautiful. It was actually really distracting. I probably should have been focusing on other things, but I couldn't help it. I'm always, like, behind the camera and running in front of the camera, and being like, what lens are you shooting on? You know, and it's just constantly activated creatively when I'm around beautiful places like that.
Rachel Hendrix, she stars in The Perfect Wave, joining us via Skype for a couple minutes for our program. For those who haven't seen the movie yet, tell us about the movie The Perfect Wave and how fun was it filming alongside just a terrific cast in this movie?
Okay, so The Perfect Wave stars... Well, The Perfect Wave is a story, it's a true story of the life of Ian McCormick. It's a traveling story. He left his home and went searching all across, up from New Zealand to Australia, to Indonesia, dropped back down in South Africa, and basically was trying to just surf and get the best experience he possibly could at his young age, surfing the best waves, meeting the best women, you know, partying at the best parties, etc. And he, in a series of events in this search for the perfect wave, he ends up lobster diving off the island of Mauritius and gets stung by 5 box jellyfish. And one sting will kill you. So he's fighting for his life and has an encounter in the afterlife that was actually a true story. So it really did happen to him. And you know, we get to hear in this film tell his experience and show it in this kind of beautiful 1.5 hour experience, which, you know, in reality it was probably a year or 2 years. So that's basically the gist of it, and it's certainly a traveling celebration of, like, the beauty of creation.
Rachel Hendrix joining us here on Christian Music Spotlight. It's movie day here on Christian Music Spotlight. We're talking with Dave Allen Johnson here in a few minutes, the executive producer of Coffee Shop, which you also starred in as well, alongside Kevin Sorbo and John Lovitz and other great cast of characters like that. That movie will be on UPTV. Its premiere Sunday, September 14th. Tell us about your role in this movie and how fun was it shooting this movie?
It's funny that they're both coming out like so close together. Because they're totally different films, and my characters are completely different. So this is a kind of love story, love triangle between a coffee shop owner and her old love and her new love interest. And I play her sister, Becky. And Becky is a sugarholic. She's sarcastic. She's always just trying to get her hands in things and make her sister's dating life more interesting. And ultimately, she's endearing because her heart's in the right place. But it's a lot less pressure than playing a lead or playing being on set the whole entire time. Like, we were able to sit back and watch all the other actors interact. And we had such an ensemble cast, because it's like kind of the coffee shop banter, the baristas, the customers, the problems that arise when you live in a small town. And all of that was so much fun to just go back and forth and feed off of each other and go into a different realm of understanding the direction from a director like Dave Allen Johnson, who's used to doing television with Sue Thomas, F.B.Eye, and Doc. Really fast-paced and like real high energy. So that was different for me, and I learned a lot, and I'm excited for people to see the film. It's going to be on 14th, so this coming Sunday at 7 o'clock on Up TV. Most people have that channel if you have cable. So I'm excited for the world to see it. It's the world premiere, and yeah.
Sunday, September 14th. I think almost everybody does have it. Of course, if you're looking to find it, it was formerly Gospel Music Channel, formerly GMC, and now it's Up TV. Your home for uplifting entertainment. Coffee Shop this Sunday, September 14th. The movie The Perfect Wave comes out on September 19th. Crazy time for you right now. 2 projects come out within a week of each other.
Cool.
And all these different roles that you've had, the versatile roles that you've had, Coffee Shop, even October Baby, and The Perfect Wave, all of this. It's great to see so many different, family entertainment projects come up that can be riveting, that can be exciting, and in case of Perfect Wave, true story. What place in today's television and theater realm do you believe how important these type of films, these type of projects have in the necessity of today's marketplace out there?
Well, different people have different worldviews, and I think we should, as artists, tell authentic stories, even if they're authentic to the writer because he created them, or playing roles that we would find challenging or find interesting, or stories we want to tell because of their simply because they're just interesting, or they celebrate humanity, or they they tell about somebody's real experience. It's really important that we stay authentic to our craft, and if you feel led and called to make a particular type of film, then do it. And if you feel led to only star in comedy and do comedy, then do comedy. If your passion is to talk about the sanctity of marriage, then tell stories about that. If you're a crazy motorcycle stunt driver and you just want to do this crazy motorcycle stunt driving, do that. So it's really just it's up to us to know what it is that we're called to, what our purpose is, and the platform that we stand on, and the voice that we've been given, and the talents that we've been given, and do something with those. So my hope is we don't really see a divide anymore amongst genres, except for that the subject matter of the film puts you into drama, or if it puts you into sci-fi, or if it puts you into romance, but not have this little small pocket that's like, oh well, this is Christian film. And within the Christian film, we have romance and drama and comedy. I don't think that there needs necessarily to be a divide, but the reason that we have that is so that the Christian moviegoers can feel safe when they watch a film. They not have to question whether what they're going to watch on their film is questionable for their morale, or whether they're going to feel like they need to take a shower afterwards, or they're going to be covering their child's eyes. It's not about sheltering or censorship as much as it is, this does not sit well in me. I'm not okay with it. So I think within the Christian genre, they're safe there. They know what to expect. It's going to have a certain amount of things in it, and it's not going to have certain things in it, and there's a safety. So it's important for the moviegoer to do their research and to find out what am I putting into my mind in making those decisions, and making your movie ticket be your vote for what you want mainstream Hollywood and the people with the secular worldview to be creating, because they're going to create what the demand is for. So you just have to be smart about it and make those decisions on where, and put yourself in where your talents lie. So.
Good stuff. Rachel Hendrix joining us here on Christian Music Spotlight. We're talking about the movies The Perfect Wave and Coffee Shop, both coming out this particular week. With these movies, when you're acting, what is the primary role, that message of hope that you want to leave your viewers when they're watching these type of movies like The Perfect Wave, which is based on a true story, when they're watching a fun movie like Coffee Shop? What do you hope they take at the end of those movies when they're watching them?
I just hope they feel a little bit more a little lighter, a little more life. I would hope that powerful stories breathe life into people. And really, that's all you're doing at the end of the day. You want to be entertained, and you want to walk away feeling lighter, or thinking deeper. But you do want to encounter it. I want to make stories that people encounter and walk away not the same. That's obviously going to vary on which levels and how deep, but that's what these uplifting type stories do. So I know I won't always have the ability to play in those films all the time, but in the end, the thematic element of love and redemption and humanity being celebrated is important to me, and those are the stories that I want to tell.
Rachel Hendrix joining us via Skype here on Christian Music Spotlight. As well, now, you have a family, of course. What's the dynamic between career life and family life? Is it a difficult balance, or is it one that's you've gotten to know a little bit better over the months? And
it's not that difficult if you have a husband that supports you and wants to stand by you for it. I have not found it to be... there's some things that you're stretched. You're not going to be together every single day and sleep in the same bed every single night. But you both just need to be in a place where you meet and say, at the end of the day, we're doing what we love, and we're supporting each other, and communication and talking about that is the most important thing. So we've got that, and we continue doing that, and it helps keep things balanced, and hopefully it'll stay that way.
You got these two projects releasing this week. What's up next down the turnpike? What can we look forward to seeing you potentially in the future?
After these films come out, I've got a movie called Mountaintop, a Gary Wheeler family-friendly film, probably going to come on UPTV as well, and a feature called 77 Chances, starring Andrew Cheney and myself, and I really like that movie. I've seen a rough cut of it, and I just think it is such a good film, and I'm really hoping it hits the DVD shelf soon. It won't be a theatrical release, unfortunately, but I'm excited to see what happens with it. And I have a handful of short films. I don't even know how to begin talking about the exciting projects that I was able to work on last year within the short amount of time that we have. But keep a lookout for my stuff. You can check me out on online. I'm constantly updating my Facebook page, and I tweet stuff, and social media will help you know what to look for.
Rachel Hendrix with us, joining us here on Christian Music Spotlight. Quick couple minutes left. We have time to fit in a fun, fast fact statement, a chance for you to find out a little bit more about your favorite personalities in Christian entertainment. First question, if we were to peer into your CD player or iPod or however you listen to music, what potentially might we find you listening to on there?
That's a tough question. I'm a music snob. Lately, I've been on a Lord Huron kick. He's amazing. They're amazing. They resonate so much with me. Civil Twilight, rock band. I like a lot of Hannah Miller. She's a folk singer. Jeff Buckley all day. I could listen to Jeff Buckley all day. Let's see. In terms of some faith or worship music that I really love, John Mark McMillan, everything he comes up with is just phenomenal. He's an incredible human being, and he knows Jesus intimately, and his music just reflects that, and I love his stuff. Misty Edwards, love worship music, like really that's kind of a little bit more towards folk and edgy, but I love Misty and her rawness. She's got a beautiful, beautiful voice and a beautiful gifting with her music. So it really just depends on my mood. Gungor, the Brilliants, John Gungor and his brother, they make incredible music. So I really could go on and on about that. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Oh yes, gives us plenty of good stuff to ponder and look for there. You also live in Switzerland, if I'm not mistaken. You've traveled.
I used to. I lived. Yeah.
You've traveled many different places across not only the U.S. but across the globe in your music. Is there a favorite place you've traveled to this point? Do you have a particular favorite?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Cape Town.
Cape Town. Nice.
Definitely the Cape. I loved it. Jeffreys Bay was amazing. I mean, South Africa is probably one of the most beautiful countries in the world. Visit if you have a chance. But yeah, definitely South Africa.
And also, do you have a particular favorite verse that in the Bible that motivates you or kind of inspires you each and every day? Is there a particular favorite you might have along the way?
There's so many good ones. Lately I've been focusing on Hebrews 13:2, which is, "Do not forget to entertain strangers, for by doing so you may have entertained angels without knowing it."
Yes.
So that's kind of been my verse this week. It's just about kindness and remembering to turn on your love all the time and be kind, and no matter what, because people don't deserve it and you don't deserve it, and it's free to give. So
it certainly is indeed. Rachel Hendrix joining us here on CMS TV. The Perfect Way, once again, we want to remind people, comes out September 19th in DVD stores across the country, as well as on Up Television this Sunday night, September 14th, Coffee Shop. See that movie as well. Up TV, check your local listings for a channel in your area. Rachel, it's been great to have you here on the program. For those who want to connect up with you and find out more about your upcoming projects, kind of share with us how we can connect up with you online and social media and the whole like there.
Okay. I am on Twitter, Rachel Drix, RACHELDRIX. I'm on Instagram, Rachel Drix. I'm on Facebook, and my Facebook page is easy to find. It's Rachel Hendrix, and I pretty frequently on there. I post quite a bit. And yeah, those three things kind of like intertwine together. So that's the best way to say hi or talk about projects or just tell me who you are. I most often try to write you back. I'll try my best.
Well, we thank you for your time on the program today and for sharing some of your stories and the different projects that you've been working on. And much love and continued success to you, both personally and professionally, as you continue to reach many across the world and the globe and this country for the messages of upliftment and encouragement and just some fun projects. And we look forward to seeing Coffee Shop this Sunday, Perfect Wave on DVD this Friday. And thank you so much for sharing a bit of your time with our viewers and for taking time to share some of your stories with us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Rachel Hendrix here on Christian Music Spotlight. You might have recognized his work with Sue Thomas, F.B.Eye, and also Doc, the series starring Billy Ray Cyrus. Both of those aired on PAXTV, which is now Ion Television. And he's got a new project, Coffee Shop, out on UPTV, Sunday, September 14th. Please welcome my guest at this time, Dave Allen Johnson. Dave, how are you? How are you today there, Dave?
I'm very good, thank you.
Thanks so much for taking some time out and joining us. Tell us about your new project, Coffee Shop. Stars a guest who will be joining us here in the next couple of days for our show as well. Actress Rachel Hendrix in that movie. You also got a number of amazing, I believe, guests on that project as well. Tell us about that movie and what viewers can expect when they tune into UpTV this Sunday.
Coffee Shop has... we've been told by viewers is a delightful romantic comedy, dramedy, and it's uplifting and fun and very romantic, but with a Christian worldview. And Rachel Hendrix plays Becky, who's one of the... I'll go back a second in that. Laura Vandervoort plays Donovan, who owns the coffee shop, and Rachel Hendrix from October Baby and Perfect Wave and other things plays her sister. And sort of Becky is trying to help Donovan, Laura's character, with her love life and giving her advice. And, you know, in a classic romantic comedy fashion, things all fall apart at some point and then they get put back together and it all ends well.
Now, what was it like to work with some of the amazing talent on this movie? I mean, Kevin Sorbo makes an appearance, John Lovett's in there. What was it like to work with so many amazing actors and actresses in producing this movie?
We had just a phenomenal cast. Starting with Laura Vandervoort, who some may know from Supergirl, from Smallville, she played Supergirl, and a lot of other things, and she's just a delightful actor. She's so good in this movie. And then straight on down to Rachel Hendrix and Jason Berkey, who are both from October Baby, and they play a couple again in this movie. So they have a history, and they're just really fun. And I knew both of them, and I knew Laura coming in. And then Kevin Sorbo came in. I knew Kevin. I've known Kevin for 20 years, so that was comfortable. John Lovitz was a wild card, and he is a wild card. Let me say. But he's as funny, you know, off camera as he is on camera. And he was just, I think at first he wasn't sure quite how he got into this movie and why he was there. But by about the middle of the first day, he was just as if he'd been there the whole time. He was just part of it. And he never went back to his trailer. He just stayed on the set and made everybody laugh. And then we've got a couple really kind of young, new people, Montrell Williams and Gabriela Lopez, and they're just young and fresh and really, really good actors. It was such a joy for me as a director to work with they were such willing sponges as actors. And so, you know, I would just sort of challenge them to go here and go there, and you know, they just trusted and went with it. And it was really, really a great cast.
Coffee Shop on UpTV. It premieres Sunday, September 14th. We're talking with Dave Allen Johnson via Skype, the executive producer, the showrunner of this particular movie. And you've done a number of entertainment, faith-based entertainment shows over the years, such as Doc, Sue Thomas, F.B.Eye. Why do you believe family entertainment, especially nowadays, plays such a role in the aspect of television nowadays? It seems to be a lost art in today's media sometimes. Why do you think family-friendly entertainment plays such an important role in where we're going today?
Well, I mean, you know, media is an important role. So, I mean, media is the most American media of all shapes and sizes. And we know now we're on Skype and we'll be online and we'll be on TV. And, you know, I mean, it's everywhere. It's pervasive. And it's the most powerful force, you know, man-made force on the earth. And so to not have it just feels like, you know, there's a whole segment that's gone, and you know, I'm not telling anybody they can't do what they're going to do. There's plenty of stuff out there, but Hollywood just sort of wants to ignore and turn their back on values, uplifting, inspiring program. And it makes no sense. It doesn't make sense on a business level, doesn't make sense on a society level, because these kinds of projects are good for us. They teach us about community. They help us, empathize. There's all kinds of reasons. It teaches young people all kinds of things, and it entertains. I mean, I'm from the Capra School of filmmaking. Capra's the hero for me. So I'm always wanting to do things that entertain first and uplift and enlighten and educate and make someone's life better as opposed to make it worse. And I think there's a huge market out there for this. There's a huge need. In ours particularly, this romantic comedy, with a real heart. I mean, it's a really touching movie. I know people are starving for sort of good, Judeo-Christian, God-honoring, relevant, modern, current projects. And, my thing is we have to make them great. We can't just put stuff out there and say, well, it reflects our worldview, so watch it. It has to be really entertaining. It has to be something you want to watch. And then it needs to have those values underneath it. And, like our movie, particularly Coffee Shop, is a romantic comedy, which is the 29-year-old female lead clearly not only respects Christian beliefs, but you see that she clearly embraces them. And, I have a 27-year-old daughter who was born and raised in California in the entertainment business. She's as hip as anybody around, but she also happens to love Jesus and believe in God and think that that's a good thing for her life, and she's seen evidence of it work in her life. And nowhere in modern culture does she get that role model or that message. Typically the Christian is either non-existent, that's mostly, or if they do exist, it's, somebody to make fun of or dowdy or dumb or something. And you just go, that doesn't reflect anything about who I know in the world. I know a lot of really smart, stylish, attractive, strong, independent, successful women who also believe that God makes their life better. And that's what this movie does. It embraces that, and we show a character that has all those traits.
Amen to that. Coffee Shop on UPTV. You can visit uptv.com to find out more about this movie. Laura Vandervoort, Rachel Hendrix, Kevin Sorbo, John Lovitz, and a whole cast of characters. Should be a great movie indeed. You are also involved, of course, your production company, with two other wildly successful television programs, two of the highest rated on their network at the time on PAX Television. Now we know it as Ion Television. Stu Thomas, F.B.Eye, and of course Doc with the one and only Billy Ray Cyrus. What was it like working with Billy for those 4 or 5 years you've had a chance to work with him, and how was he like on set?
Doc was a fun show to shoot. We just had the cast, just everybody got along. Billy's a fun guy. He's Billy. You just got to go, that's Billy. And he's kind of who he is and who you see, and he's just a good old country boy. And we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of laughs. Billy loved the project. He loved playing Dr. Cassidy. Clint Cassidy was his character name. And it was just a huge success. And Doc and Sue Thomas, F.B.Eye, were by far the two highest rated shows on the history of PAX. And actually, they're some of the highest rated shows on other networks they've run on throughout the world. Yeah, Sue Thomas, F.B.Eye, everywhere I go, I find just fans galore of that show. And they just, in fact, at the coffee shop, we had a coffee shop premiere in Birmingham, and there were 5 kids, all in the same family, who came, 6 of them actually, kids all in the same family from varying ages, probably, from 7 to 20 maybe. And they all came running up saying, oh, and they had their DVDs of Sue Thomas, F.B.Eye, and they're going, oh man, we love this show, we love this show. And I'm going, some of you weren't even born when we stopped shooting that show. And they're just like, oh, we love it, we love it. I mean, there's just something about that cast, and Deanne herself, Deanne Bray, who plays Sue, and the sign language and the dog, and there's just something that's just really captured people, and it just continues to be loved and seen by everybody. We're actually working on getting a Sue Thomas movie done. We're very, very close. And Deanne would come back and play that role. And so, yeah, I mean, we try and make everything we do fun. Making movies and TV shows is hard. So we always try and have a fun set, a relaxed set, a place that people want to be. And I think you see some of that in the work. You see that you think these people really enjoy doing what they're doing and they like each other.